Chucky is on the show.
Hey, yatta! Yatta!
So we're getting Chucky's headphones set up. We've known Chucky for over a decade. I used to be neighbors with her. Donnie used to work with her.
Why he's introducing me?
Chucky is Japanese. She's a Japanese American.
I'm not American though.
No?
I don't have a citizenship.
Okay, we're supposed to say that like African American and all that,
Well,
We don't want to be rude.
I think I don't know what's Japanese American.
You know what? People used to be proud and say, I'm African American, but I bet now they would just say, you can take the American out. I'm good. I don't need to be called that anymore. There's not that much to be proud of anymore.
Oh, okay, I can hear this.
There you go.
Ah,
Japanese Americans are if you were born in America, but your parents
Yeah.
are Japanese.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't born in America though.
Okay.
I'm
Peop-
Japanese.
Yeah, people just say that to try to be proud to be a part of like
Okay.
this shitty country that's falling apart that nobody likes anymore. That's great. Chucky, we're gonna ask you a bunch of questions. Some of
Okay.
them might not be you have to say if you're offended.
Okay.
You have to have a safe word.
Okay.
But the safe word is the word that you're not allowed to say.
Fuck.
No.
No.
What?
The word.
Word.
the word you refuse to say.
The secret bad
Ah!
word. So that means you're not allowed to get offended because the safe word is you can't say it. Chucky told us about a secret, horrible, bad Japanese word that no one's allowed to say.
Yeah, she wouldn't tell us.
And it took a month
Yeah.
before we could say it.
We had to ask her husband.
She had to give him
yeah.
permission to tell us the word.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we were going to start a bowling team and name it after the word. But it sounds like a victory word, like bingo. Sounds like if you're happy.
Yeah, it does.
You think?
Yay, bingo.
Interesting. Yeah.
And there's a British kind of equivalent, like if something's dirty and rotten, they call it manky. Manky, have you ever heard that?
Manky?
Yeah, M-A-N-K-Y. I heard it when I was
He's
over
a
there.
bit manky.
Yeah, manky twat.
Oh, he's a bit manky.
Yeah, somebody who doesn't shower
Yeah.
and is rotten. This might be the same root. I don't know. Latin. They all came from the same place. So, Chucky, you married a American guy,
Hi.
Dylan,
Yeah.
our friend Dylan.
Hi.
Yeah.
I did.
When you told your mother that
Hi.
you were going to marry an American boy, what did she say?
I don't know. She was cool with it.
She wasn't
Sure.
mad.
She wasn't mad.
Okay.
She wasn't?
Yeah,
But
but,
that
we'll
was-
see. If
What was
Hi.
the outlook on Americans from Japanese back then? It was 15 years ago you met Dylan? 12, 15?
yeah, like maybe like 15 years ago.
So there was a positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like coolest country.
I was looking up earlier today what the oldest cultures are on Earth. And it's Mesopotamia, Egypt, India, or Indus Valley, and
China.
China. Yeah. But I think Japan is older, but they're just quiet. They're secret.
I think
So they
China
told-
is older.
Yeah. Who knows? I
Or
mean, the
who
only
knows,
evidence
yeah.
is like jewelry or like inscriptions or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Evidence of like a community or that people were
Right.
not, grunting at each other. Kristen, I don't know if Kristen, my wife, we're not supposed to say no names on here, but that's my bad. She didn't. I don't know if she remembered that we were doing this tonight, but she put on Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon this morning, and I was like, "Oh, Chiaki doesn't like this. It's just Chinese people. They're gross." China's like the Russia of Japan? Like, it's kind of bigger and messed up version.
Yeah.
'Cause to us, Russia's like they're the same color as us, but it's like they're not doing very well, and it's just huge and gross.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I guess China keeps coming to Japanese Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
People
Sea of
don't like
Japan
that, yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to-
Threateningly.
Well,
like,
Japanese people likes Taiwanese people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe I shouldn't say Japanese people likes Taiwanese people. I should say, Japan likes Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't
Like
necessarily
the country likes the country.
Well,
yeah.
yeah, that doesn't necessarily Japanese people don't like Chinese people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't think Chinese people like Japanese people very much either.
I know. They hate Japanese people.
Yeah,
All
right.
the Asian people hate
They don't-
Japanese people.
The joke in the rest of the world about Chinese people is that they name their children by throwing up pots and pans down the stairs. Because it goes ting, pang, pong,
Ding, dong,
pang.
dong. Yeah.
Oh, that's not Japanese. Japanese is more classy. It's,
Yeah.
it's more honorable. You don't have a lot of that. But I think
Wait.
they named their kids after the sword fight sounds from their ancestors. It's
Yeah.
it's more honorable. It's not a pot down the stairs.
Right,
It's
right.
swords.
Like Suzuki.
Somebody hitting somebody's armor.
So that's Japanese.
Yeah.
Does it really sounds like that to you guys?
Sounds
Like,
like
so every time somebody, what is it? Like mimicking their
yeah,
accent.
yeah.
The guy's version always sounds like that. Like,
Yeah.
"Oi."
Yeah, it's because
Does it sound like that?
yeah, it does because
All our exposure.
and I was
was-
actually watching a video. Did you see that video that I posted of the guy? There's like the hostage situation, and the guy comes out with the thing. He's naked, and he comes out with the things in front of him, and he has to like flip the things in front of his crotch to like not show it.
I don't,
And the
I
way
don't
he's
remember.
talking is that like he's talking that like that, which is apparently like a very like aggressive macho tone for a man to
Oh,
have.
okay.
And so we
Ah.
watch a lot of stuff, especially like anime and things like that, where
Hmm.
it's always like the badass guy is always like, "Oh, asshole," like
Yeah.
that. You know, he does that kind of
the
thing.
stereotypical character is an old, serious, slow.
I don't know. That
talking
sounds
man.
American to me.
Does it sound American?
Yeah. You don't. You don't.
Well,
sound
maybe we
Japanese.
sound more. Maybe we
Hey,
sound
can,
more
can we
harsh.
play it? Can
Yeah,
you
I'm
play
gonna put it
something?
on.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna put it on so we can so I can show you what I was talking about.
My favorite Japanese noise that Shaki made was she was surprised one time or asking somebody what, like repeat yourself, but she made the Link noise from Zelda. She said, "Eh." I was like, "Oh, they do all do that. It's true."
I say that.
Eh.
I say
I
that.
think you did it once. I
I
don't know if
did?
you do it all the time.
One of my favorite Japanese reactions is did you ever watch the show Iron Chef?
Yeah.
Whenever they always do he always does a goofy thing with like food or a drink or something like that. And there was this one where he was like trying to like come up with like the perfect ingredient or whatever, and he's holding he's holding a glass of wine, and he's concentrating so hard that he crushes the glass of wine and it
Nice.
shatters in
wow.
his hand, and he looks at it and goes, "Ooh," like that. It was like the most like what reaction, you know?
The people make fun of Southerners for being lazy, like Texas.
Yeah.
People go, "Oh, it's a lot slower there." Like if you meet an old Texas man, he's like, "Well, howdy. Here's how we do things here," and it's not necessarily lazy. It's because
He's high.
yeah, or they built all this stuff a long time ago, and they've afforded themselves through their previous efforts the ability to now relax. So like, I built this ranch when I was 20. I put a lot of hard work into it.
Yeah.
Now I get to slow down, but there's kind of that with the old Japanese man stereotype. He's very slow. He's earned his way to the top, and now you will sit and wait for me to tell the story.
He's very Master Splinter.
Young people are like, come on, let's move it along.
I think it's only what is it, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
But it's also like he's like my master Orokosake. You know, whenever he's Splinter's telling the story. Have you ever seen the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the one from like when we were little kids?
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah.
I've watched the movie.
Yeah, he's like when you die, it will be without honor. Like that. He's very much the slow talking sensei. You know,
Everything's very
master,
epic and legendary, and
Yeah,
a lot of impetus on it.
Okay, here's the video of the guy. I'm gonna have to put it up to the microphone because it's not on the TV.
Video, what guy?
さあ何も持ってないだろうよく見るんだ何も持ってない持ってないぞそうそうそう
Oh, that voice
What's
is like
going-
that.
is this Squid Game?
Ah.
Looks like Squid Game. He's got the same haircut. Why can't he show his penis?
But the hostage lady and the guy who's taking.
つけ
Do you think her eyes are open?
さ
Both of them are laughing. Both of the actors are laughing. But so I was reading the comments on that, and they were saying that the way he's talking is a very forceful, aggressive way. He's like, "You gotta watch this, asshole! I'm not going to drop it," you know. And I don't know, it's
Yeah.
not titled, but they were kind of saying that was what he's saying. They said that tone is like the very like aggressive, masculine tone of a Japanese man.
Okay, I get that, but normal people don't talk like that though.
No.
It's only
Right,
happening.
it's a
at
put
the
on,
yeah, it's
on
only
like a
happening
show,
at the
right,
TV
right,
show.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't sound like anything we were exposed to growing up. Like everything we saw growing up was kung fu movies.
Yeah,
And
so
old samurai stuff.
that's why when we do the impression of a Japanese guy talking, all of our exposure to a Japanese guy talking is stuff in like
Stuff like-
movies
yeah.
and TV shows where they're trying to sound all badass or whatever.
It's like
Okay.
if a Japanese person thought all Americans sounded like Sir Lancelot. Well, hello, young sir. 'Cause
Yeah.
we relate all you guys to your old knights from like 1,000 years
Yeah,
ago.
right.
So we think everybody talks like an old knight.
I mean, just
That's
think
what
of
all
like
the movies we saw.
just think of like every episode of Cowboy Bebop where they have to go like catch a bounty, and the
Yeah.
bounty is some tough grizzled
Yeah.
criminal. They all talk like that because they're all trying to. I'm big and badass and tough, you know.
It was
that-
either
Okay,
that's
but
that's
that-
our joke.
stuff or
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah, that's good to know because I've been wondering why all those American people, think Japanese guy talk like that.
Right,
Because
right.
I don't really know anybody who actually talk like that.
Right. Yeah.
You have to go back in time.
Yeah.
Your grandfather's grandfathers.
Right. Well, then there's then my other favorite one is the Sonny Chiba from Kill Bill, where he's so over the top, like almost caricature Japanese, where he's like very good, and he's doing like that way over the top, like arigato. He's trying to like teach her. He's the guy who makes the sword, Hattori
Yeah.
Hanzo.
Hey, how come you can remember about the movie so much?
It's
Like I watched the Kill Bill,
yeah.
but I don't remember any of that
'Cause
stuff.
we were raised religious and we weren't allowed to see anything.
So we had
So
to
then
like
once we
keep it in
finally-
our
Yeah.
brains as much as
It's
possible.
Sunday morning at church, everybody would be quoting Saturday Night Live. And all the kids that were older than me were like, "Did you see this sketch last night?" And I wasn't allowed to see it. I was like, "Fuck!" They know and they memorized and they're calling back all these jokes, and I didn't get to. I don't know any of it. I had to watch Saturday Night Live through the crack in the door if my parents had it on. I'd like try to open
Yeah.
their bedroom and see the TV.
But your parents watched it.
Sometimes, if somebody they liked was on there. One time I went over to my friends and watched it. For the first time I was allowed to, I said, "Can I please go to my friend's house and watch it?" It was Martin Lawrence. You remember Martin? Martin, he had his TV show.
No, I don't think I ever.
He's
He's
a
the
black
watched it.
comedian
Black
from the
Knight,
90s.
Bad Boys. Have you ever watched Bad Boys with Will Smith?
Maybe.
And he's the other guy. He's the
Okay.
other guy. Yeah.
Well, I walked over to my friend's house when I was 13 to watch SNL for the first time, and Martin Lawrence, they've deleted this episode, and they shut it down because he did his opening monologue. You get to do a little stand-up like the host. He started talking about the word, the bad word. He started talking about yeast infections and all
Oh.
kinds of bad stuff.
Yeah.
And I heard the phone downstairs ring at my friend's house, and then his parents came up and said, "Josh, you have to go home," because I got in trouble for going over. They said, "You can't watch SNL anymore." So they were watching it at home. They knew I was watching it at my friend's house.
It's like you remotely got in trouble.
Yeah, they saw him go off about
Oh my
nasty
God.
vaginas and called the parents of the house I was at and said I had to come home.
That's so evangelical.
Yeah.
What is the evangelical?
So
Evangelical?
that's the fundamentalist Christian, like like in Japan you probably have like really really hardcore Buddhists, the ones who are
Oh,
like,
yeah,
no, this
yeah.
is against the Buddhist teachings, we cannot
yeah,
do this,
I
whatever.
hate those.
That's our version of that, but for Christians.
Okay.
So it's like you are not allowed to hold hands with a girl because that's sin, that's evil.
But
bad.
evagelism means you have to spread the word. The main
Yeah,
thrust of it is to
it
get
means that like
everybody-
you have to like try to convince everybody to be Christians like you, so you can all go. to
yeah,
heaven.
that's what I hated about the religion part.
Yeah.
Any kind.
Yeah, because most people love being told what to do, so it should work great. It's a really weird philosophy to have. Go around and tell everyone what to believe, because
Yeah.
people love that around the world. It's going to turn out perfect. They're never going to have a crusades or any holy wars or anything happen.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
watching Crouching Tiger today, and I remembered you saying the Chinese were were looked down upon by Japanese people.
Wait, what?
The Japanese people say the Chinese people are not as good, or
Oh,
they go-
Japanese people say that?
I don't know. You said that.
Yeah.
Like what's the like the general
Like you said,
attitude of
Vietnamese were, like, the
Japanese
lowest.
people?
Yeah. Well,
Didn't you say Koreans and Vietnamese were the bottom?
maybe not Korean. No, I think Koreans are more popular.
Okay.
I don't know which one is bottom, but
I mean, Japan is at the top. Japan is like the England of Asia.
well, yeah, that's what
They don't-
Japanese people used to think.
Yeah.
But these guys are realizing, okay, we're not doing good right now.
That's what America's. That's what's happening here right
Yeah.
now. Like, we're not so great. Maybe don't tell everybody to come here. And
Yeah.
it's not
Really,
land
that's
about-
what happened to America too. You think?
I think whenever Trump first got elected, he was talking about shutting down the borders
Yeah.
for everybody coming in. I had a bit where I was like, maybe we should just put up the same sign they have at the mall when one of the stores is closed and there's all the drywall and it says, "Please excuse our mess. We're renovating." Like, maybe not forever close it down, but for a little bit while we fix some things that are wrong,
Yeah.
including having this president for 4 years.
Right.
Maybe we can wait until after that's over before, because then people came to get put in cages anyway.
Yeah.
But according to Crouching Tiger, Chinese people can fly too. So you guys are probably just like jealous of them. That's why you
yeah,
hate
that's
them.
so cool.
You're just projecting
Yeah.
your own insecurities.
Huh.
Fucking Chinese people flying around with
Yeah.
swords. It's
Mm.
awesome.
Yeah, and I was talking to a guy, a friend of mine today, about how kind of shallow Americans' view of everybody else is, because we don't we don't think about the difference between like all the different types of Asian people. So Asians to us are just Asians for a lot of people. Like,
Yeah, but guess what? To Asian people, all the white people
oh,
are white
yeah,
people the
yeah,
same.
right.
Yeah.
So
You
you
guys
see it
think
the same
Russians
way
are
that we see
Asian?
you, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's the difference between Irish and I don't know British. They all
Right,
look the same.
right.
See a
yeah.
Bulgarian and they're like, "What's wrong with that British dude?" It's weird.
It's like it's kind of
Talking
like
funny.
how we consider anybody who's like Latino or Hispanic. We're like, oh, that's just a Mexican.
Yeah,
They're all,
and
they're all
also
Mexicans.
India and Bangladesh.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
Pakistani or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they all
yeah,
look the same.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's just a human tendency. We call all sodas Coke.
Right.
It's just easy. All copy machines are Xeroxes.
Yeah.
Just pick a brand and stick it on.
Yeah,
there.
it's just so funny how in America it's like everything is still split up into white and not white.
Yeah.
So they always want to put like a white is on this side and then not white's on the other side, or separate from everything else.
Othered.
But it's fun. That's why it's always funny to hear about, what do Chinese people think about Vietnamese people, or what do all the different
What's
Yeah.
that
it's so
racism
much
like
more.
over there? Is it
It's
as
so much more
delicious?
complicated. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but seems like there's something between Taiwanese people and Chinese people.
Oh yeah, that's because
And also Vietnamese people and Chinese people.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So Taiwan is so whenever
Taiwan is a country.
right whenever the communists took over
Yeah.
China.
But if I say Taiwan is country, there's some Chinese people who
Yeah, they're
get
like,
mad at me.
Yeah, that's why they're like fuck you.
Yeah.
Was it when there's an old video of guys playing video games with Chinese people and they go Taiwan #1, like no fuck you, Taiwan #4.
What's the number second and the third and top for this guy?
They're always fighting. They're always fighting for second place.
It's because whenever
Number
the
4? At least Taiwan was number 4.
Yeah.
That's pretty high.
but they're not #1. So it's whenever China, the communists took over China, the people
China.
who ruled China fled to Taiwan and started their own country that was Taiwan. And so China has always been like, no, Taiwan's part of China. Taiwan's not a real country. And that's also why we like Taiwan so much, and why probably Japan
and
likes
China
Taiwan so much.
still doing it to Tibet.
Oh yeah, they want all they think that
Yeah.
all those, or well, in their opinion, all those places are really China, and China should be. It's kind of like how Russia
Kind of
is like
let's just go.
yeah.
Let's just go and see, see what happens.
Right. At some point that might happen.
Chiaki might go to sleep soon because the last 2 times I've hung out with her, she's took a nap in front of everybody.
Last 2 times?
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep on your birthday?
I don't think so. I was awake.
No,
I was just watching the
next
YouTube.
morning you fell asleep when we were watching Super Mario,
Oh.
and then you came over here for my birthday and took a nap outside.
Yes, I did.
And I'm just upset because I'm jealous because I want to take a nap, and I love the Japanese idea of the nap capsules.
Right.
The
Oh, yeah,
hotels.
yeah.
We need
Yeah.
that here, but they need to make it because every American dad, the only way they take a nap is in a room full of people, and then they get mad that people make noise. That's like an old school American dad thing. Pass out on the easy chair.
Yeah, in your
And then-
recliner.
Tell everybody to shut up, even though there was a whole bunch of people. A second ago, you're all watching a movie. But now that dad's asleep, everybody has to shut up and leave. So they can have an American style nap bar where like there's a bunch of loud people in an easy chair in a movie, and then I could go in there and fall asleep. Or I have a Fitbit on, so it does a little notification for people when I go into, and then they all have to leave and shut up and leave the TV on.
Yeah. So is it easy for you to take a nap in the middle of people talking, or was it just because you were tired that day?
I was high.
Oh, you're high. 420. 420. It's 420
Well,
time.
otherwise, I don't know. I don't think it's hard for me. I don't think it's easy for me to just pass out
Yeah.
randomly.
I think you
remember-
said you were also because you had worked all that day, right?
Mhm.
So you were like,
All week.
yeah, you
And I
you
guess,
came over
yeah.
that day and you're like, oh, I'm so tired, and then
Yeah,
you just
maybe I was
fell
tired,
asleep, and you
yeah.
fell asleep in like a lawn chair, more or less. Like, although it was, I guess, a pretty comfortable chair to
It
sit
was
in.
comfortable. Somebody
But
gave
yeah.
me a blanket even.
Yeah, Kristen went and grabbed a blanket to put on you.
She's so nice.
Yeah,
I know. She's like a nicest person in this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Aw,
Yeah,
it's so
I
she's
got her.
sweet.
nice.
I found her and I stole her away.
Yeah, she's so nice.
I understand that you took a nap because
Hi.
we're all tired because we've had kids. I
Right.
remember the whole time when we had babies, it was a contest between the husband and wife who's more tired right now.
Yeah.
We would fight over who gets to go take a nap.
Mhm.
And if somebody falls asleep, you're always like, well, it must fucking be nice for you that you get to just sleep because we're all. You build up a sleep deficit, you know, in your brain. It can cause like brain damage and you get dizzy and stuff and you can't function.
Yeah, that was serious.
But you can never get it back. Like,
you can never get back?
No,
Get back your sleep deficit.
no. Not
No?
fully. If you have enough sleep deficit enough days in a row, you're functionally like a little bit retarded.
Until when? Forever.
Forever.
Oh, so that's
So I'm always trying to get it back. Like anytime I can fall asleep,
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm tired right now. I need to go take a nap right now because I got to. Otherwise, if I try to go to sleep, if I'm on the couch and I'm falling asleep, I just
Mhm.
put my head down because this is the time when my body is ready. If I get up and go upstairs and get ready and get in bed, I won't fall asleep because I did stuff. So you have to, because of the sleep deficit of having kids a while ago, just whenever your brain says it's time, you got to go down. You got to get it when you can get it. Like everybody says, oh, sleep whenever your children sleep when they're babies. That's when you need to get a bunch of shit done because they're asleep.
Right. Man, I wish you had told me that when I was like 17 or something.
get lots of sleep.
I know. I was doing completely opposite.
Maybe that's why I can remember movies.
Yeah,
Is because I
you'd
get
be
so much
sleeping.
sleep.
That's the part of your brain that didn't get destroyed.
Right. Like no, that was always my thing. Is I would sleep 10 hours a night. Like I was always like
Yeah.
I sleep
Yeah.
late. My mom would get on to me. I was late to that's why I dropped out of college or I flunked out because I just couldn't get up even for a 10 a.m. class. I couldn't get up early enough for that. I just wanted to lay in bed because I would stay up until 2 in the
We should
morning.
do an IQ test and see how much we lost.
Yeah, how much sleep is maybe that's the whole difference between people is how much sleep they got. Like the people who got a lot of sleep are the ones who are like I don't want to say smart.
My little
Yeah,
diet
'cause
app always says sleep is power.
Because I was sleeping only 5 hours for the longest time. Maybe, during my teenager life
Oh, yeah.
till maybe, I don't know, 28,
I remember that.
27.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
wanted to go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bedtime was 2 a.m.
Nice.
and waking
you
up
have the same.
7 or something.
Were
Man,
you
I wish I
were you like-
wish I met you before, Josh.
I could have told you
tell
stop.
me.
Sleep more, sleep more.
Yeah, sleep
Well,
more.
these are all
Why
new
did you only
studies.
get 5 hours of sleep when you were that young? Was it because you were partying, or was it because you were working really hard at school, or was it?
In the high school?
Yeah,
So in the high school, I
She was
go
fighting
to-
ninjas in Japan, dude. They used to- all night. You have to do that all night.
she was battling the
She was
pink
fighting crime.
robots.
She was
Yeah.
stopping crime in Tokyo.
Her name is Chiaki.
She was a Japanese
She's got a black
Batman.
belt in karate. So yeah, what were you doing? Why were you only getting 5 hours of sleep when you were a teenager?
So I go to high school, and I had a part-time job till starts from 5 to 10 or something, and that's after the part-time job. That's the time that I can do fun stuff like reading a book or
Right,
or
right.
something.
Yeah,
And by the
That's the
time
most Japanese thing I've ever heard anybody
fun
say.
time, reading a
stuff,
book.
like reading a book. Fucking have party, baby. Woo!
yeah, but it's and I take a bath like an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
For an hour. But that's what you have in common with American girls. They take bath for an hour. Candles, incense.
Yeah. So yeah, if I'm doing something like that, it's gonna be 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I go to bed 2 a.m.
Uh-huh. Well, so you're
I gotta
tired
go
during the
to-
day, right?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess I got depressed.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I needed to sleep more.
Probably, yeah.
I just needed to see Josh.
Yeah. See some jokey jokes.
Yeah, no, cause no one told me, hey, dude, you need to sleep more.
Right.
Yeah, and I was doing it. I was doing the same thing in the 20th.
No, we still have that problem at the house. Kristen wants to hang out at night, and I'm like, oh yeah, 'cause you slept in. Must have been nice.
Yeah.
You know, some of us are tired 'cause we got up, but I'm sure it's gonna be great for you to have fun. And I'm like slogging through an evening at the neighbor's house, like, I guess I'll have a beer. Ugh. We were talking about that, about the no one wants to work thing. Ivy and I, on the way to dropping my kid off at school, we were doing impressions of even the slightest thing you ask a real retail worker to do.
Yeah.
Welcome to McDonald's. Would you like a McDonald's? Yes, I'd like one McDonald's. Oh, okay, hold on. Like anytime you ask anybody to do anything at a store, they're like,
Okay, yeah.
they
yeah.
must have had kids. You're just permanently exhausted. I was visiting my niece and nephew, and they were getting married, and they were tired from all the planning. And this 21-year-old was complaining, I'm so tired. I'm like, you don't even know what tired is.
Oh yeah,
Just wait.
Oh yeah, young people say that they are
Yeah.
tired. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about?
Wait till you have kids. Just being tired is just a constant state of being. It's like breathing. You're just
Yeah.
gonna be tired.
There's just exhaustion.
You gotta get around it. That was why I wanted to get up and go to Woodrow's on Monday, because it's been every Monday for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
I
why,
knew it was
why
right there.
Monday though? I
It's-
don't like the idea of Monday.
There's no Friday open mics. Fridays are for showcases.
Yeah, Fridays are for the actual
Yeah.
people who
I
do
mean,
it
it's
for a job.
practice nights.
Okay.
But I knew it was Monday. I knew I had 5
Oh,
minutes.
yeah, sorry. I just setting the scene.
Yeah.
Josh came back and did an open mic for the first time in 10
I
years.
took a 10-year hiatus from comedy to raise children.
Right.
And now I'm done. They're good. They're perfect. I raised them. And they're adults. It took me 10 years.
They're good enough. They're okay.
It's fine. I can leave now. Well, doing comedy means you have to go out drinking like every night to be a successful. But I don't really want anything from anybody at this point. I'm just trying to write jokes and get them, find the place to put them, and make people laugh. Like, I don't want anything. I'm not trying to get anywhere with it. I just want to do South Austin open mics and stream and do this shit
Yeah.
where it's convenient for me. And I'm not going downtown. I'm not going to pay for parking. I'm not going to. The fucking mothership. If you want to be on the open mic,
Yeah.
you have to sign up like it's Broadway. It's a casting call.
Oh, then
They have a piece of paper.
Oh, it's like Mitzi
You have to
Shore.
sign up in yeah.
I mean, it's
'Cause
basically
that dude.
that's what it is.
It's the
It's
same dude from the store.
yeah, it's the comedy
brought-
store.
yeah.
It's they're trying to do the
Egan,
comedy
Adam
store in
Egan.
Austin. Yeah,
He's doing the same shit. So you have to sign up in person.
yeah.
Then you have to come back an hour later and see if they picked your name from that list and put it on their list.
It's like you're going out for the team.
They're stimulating the economy of 6th Street
Right,
because they're making everybody go sit around for an hour somewhere
right.
waiting to see if you're. And
Right.
that's on a Sunday.
Ugh.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we
that's-
gotta go to church on
Yeah.
Sunday.
I gotta go worship Jesus. I gotta do my Buddhism
Yeah.
Right.
shit. I'm trying to be a good Buddhist.
Yeah. No, but Josh went up and he did what you did a good 4 minutes, right?
Tried to write 5 clean minutes because that was the old school standard for like Carson back in the day.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see, just as an experiment, see, because I've got 10 gross minutes that
Yeah.
I could expand into like a half hour from a long time ago.
No, it was a clean set, wasn't it?
I fucked up and said fucking shit and balls because I was nervous. But I didn't have to. I realized because initially I thought it was going to be a Waterloo, which is surrounded by a huge playground, and it was at 7 p.m. And I was like, there's going to be kids everywhere. I can't be yelling dirty pussy shit in front of all these children.
Do pee pee poo poo.
But then I went there with Adrian, and Adrian started going to Waterloo, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he was like, this is where you said it was at.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think it's here. And we went in. There was no sign-up sheet, no stage out back. There was no kids on the playground either.
You
which
guys
was nice.
actually went to Waterloo
Yeah.
on Brody?
And then I pulled my
Or on
no,
Escarpment?
South Park, same shopping
Oh,
center.
South Park Meadows. Okay.
Yeah, that's
the
what
big
I.
center thing.
That's what I
Right,
thought
right,
where
right.
it's gonna be.
Yeah. So
No,
I had to
no,
retext
it's-
everybody
yeah.
and say
I
Woodrow's
think
not Waterloo.
The whole time I knew it was Woodrow's
Yeah.
because we had corrected ourselves before.
Yeah.
But
I knew it was Woodrow's the whole time.
Right.
There's too many W's.
right.
And I'm retarded from losing sleep from having kids. I'm
Yep.
always exhausted forever, and I'm
Yep.
never going to get it back.
Yeah, your IQ's
those
down.
4
Yeah.
precious points of remembering movie packets
Right.
in my brain.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture, then post it on my story. Okay.
Okay. Do a selfie. Like do all 3 of us together.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe
Okay, put it on timer and put it over there on the counter. You know how to do a timer? Okay. So Japanese person doesn't know how to use a camera. Give me a break. That's like your main thing. Cameras. So, Adrian
where should I put it?
drove. Is it timer?
Yes.
Put it over there on the counter. Move that shit out of the way. Put it right there.
Or just hold it up. Hold it up and get all 3 of us. Yeah.
Cheese balls. 4, 3, 2. We're taking a picture. It's an audio experience. This is a sound picture.
Click.
So Adrian drove me.
I don't like how it looks.
Okay.
You don't like how you look?
Okay. Maybe.
Now we're getting real Japanese with it. We gotta take a bunch of them. She doesn't like it, and it's a girl too. She doesn't like her makeup, how it is.
Okay.
Do you look exhausted from having kids? I look tired. That's like the meanest thing you can say to somebody now. That's the new underhanded.
You look tired. That was what my boss Robert would always say to me when I come to work high.
Yeah.
He'd go, "You look tired."
I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
if somebody says that at work. You look. Yeah, we start at 8 here. That's why
Yeah.
I'm tired, because you made me get up an hour ago at 7, and I had to drive in traffic.
Yeah.
Why the fuck you think I'm tired?
I stayed up watching Sean listen to music until 3 a.m.
With grainy
I'm very tired.
pitchfork music
Yeah.
videos, and
Yeah.
yell at you about how it's the greatest thing ever in the world.
Okay. What should I say? Okay. What should I say on my story?
Huh?
We are recording
It's like
podcast.
yeah, something like how like your first podcast or the first time
Okay.
you ever podcasted or something.
Okay.
Like yeah, just
First-
mention podcast.
Okay.
First
Yeah.
ever female Japanese guest on an American podcast
Yeah.
in the world history of ever anything.
Please clap.
Yeah. We're breaking new ground here. Everyone is going to be curious. So Adrian drove me.
Right.
We got there before you guys. You guys missed this as the best part of the night. There was a lady sitting there in a mini skirt, sitting very confidently.
long-haired
Yeah.
Latina.
Yeah, Hispanica.
Yeah.
But he was all fired up the whole way there. He was like talking shit about the girls walking out. You know, the American standard exercise outfit right now is just to be dressed like Power Girl or Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
So he saw these girls walking. He was like, "Damn, look at that! Damn, look at that!" And I was like, "Oh no, Adrian's all horny. I got to be a wingman, try to get him."
He's
some-
like, I'm gonna get a girl tonight.
"Yeah, going out with Josh. And I know the guy that's on stage. He's gonna get me a." I don't wingman as good as I used to because there's nothing in it for me. Like
Right.
I used to wingman, like maybe I'll get it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. 50-50. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah.
Now I'm just like I have no interest. There's nothing gonna happen, so I don't give a fuck.
I gotta take the kids to school
Like,
tomorrow.
I'll make
yeah.
us all look stupid right now,
Yeah.
and you can see what you can do with that.
Okay. I'm putting hashtag 420.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We should have all been holding doobies.
Yeah.
We'll do. Kristen will take some more when she gets here.
Yeah.
She's doing 420 shit at Adrian's, but she's yeah.
Is Adrian gonna come too?
I don't know. We kept him up late last night. So Adrian saw this pretty
Hi.
girl
Hi. Ooh.
a couple tables over. She was next to the sign-up sheet. Looked like she was going to go up on stage. And he said, "That's a pretty girl over there." And I said, "Adrian, that's a boy."
Ooh.
And he said, "No. How do you know?" And I said, "Look at their shoulders. Look at the posture." She's like almost man-spreading. And he was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Adrian, there's only one way to really be sure. You need to go talk to her.
Yeah.
Go find out." And he's like, "No. And then
So
they-
you identified it.
yeah.
You identified her
Yeah.
as transgender.
Yeah, I grew up watching
immediately.
Crocodile Dundee. I
I mean,
know
like
what
so
WWE
as soon as he's like, it's hot. Like you were like trans.
yeah.
Okay.
But what's wrong with it though? Maybe Adrian can go with trans.
Yeah, that's
girl?
fine if he wants
Yeah.
to.
Right?
He was embarrassed. I don't think he was
Yeah.
into that.
So he's not into it?
He
You
didn't-
know why he's not into it though?
Yeah.
He's never tried it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yep. Don't knock it till you try. That's what I told him. There's
Yeah.
only one way to be sure.
Yeah.
Whether she's a dude and whether you like that.
Yeah.
Still got titties and stuff. That's
yeah,
cool.
He should have just.
Well, no.
He should have just go.
Yeah. So he didn't believe it. He didn't believe me. He thought I was fucking with him.
Yeah.
But they messed up the order. I was 7th in the order. So everybody that came, like I brought, Donnie and Clay and Adrian and 2 friends from work came. So I had a table full of 6 people. We were all waiting for me to be next. I was like, I should be next. There's been 6 people up, but they fucked the order around. They do whatever they want over there. So Adrian got tired of waiting, and he went to go pee. And when he came back out, the trans girl was on stage.
Ooh.
And she introduced her. As soon as she said, "Hey guys," I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, obviously."
Yeah, so I saw her from over there, but I saw her from far away, and I was like, oh, so, you long-haired, exotic-looking Latina,
Yeah.
and then but then she got up on stage, and as soon as she's like, "Hey guys," Clay turns to me and goes, "Trans?" I'm like, I think so.
Like
And
and
then-
subscribe.
Yeah, but Adrian is in the bathroom at this point. Like he's not there for the beginning of her set, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He walks out, and I guess as he's walking out, she's like, "I'm trans."
No, she said. Well, she had already done all that. He's walking. As soon as he comes outside, I turn around. He's walking. He's frozen on this. This place has shitty, like weird fake grass.
Yeah,
AstroTurf.
like AstroTurf.
He did
yeah.
he dropped the door, and the door hit him in the foot, and he jumped because she's standing on stage going, "I'm at the TSA, and they're like grabbing my dick, and then they had someone else come and grab my cock." Like all her jokes were just about having a dick, and it was like, "Do you have any other hobbies? Like that's cool, but this novelty of being a trans comedian is gonna wear off eventually unless you have actual jokes.
Yeah.
Like it's not funny that they're
So-
grabbing her dick at the airport."
So apparently he walks out, and he just like he's like he hears that, and he just has this angry look on his
God
face.
damn it!
How did I fall for it?
I tried to let him off. I was like, "Here's a 50-foot rule." She was on the other side of the yard.
Right. That was my thing. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a woman over there
Yeah, good
that's
from
that,
far,
that,
far
that appears
from
to be
good.
attractive. I didn't, but
That's
yeah,
their
as soon as I
job.
heard
That's
that-
trans's
yeah.
whole job is to make it look good. If you
Actually-
watch RuPaul,
Actually, she was pretty good. I liked her. I liked her vibe. I liked her jokes. I thought she was one of the better ones that went on
yeah,
before
Adrian
you.
liked her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had such a hard time
He
last night
should
at his
have
house.
get her number.
Yeah,
Next time you see him, next time you kind of say her, you
Yeah.
tell him, you need to give him a nudge.
Yeah.
You be like, don't knock it till you try it. Yeah.
but then the week before that, we went to comedy at the Buzz.
At Buzzkill,
Buzz
yeah.
Kill
The
at the Buzz
coffee,
Mill.
you know,
Buzzmill.
Yeah.
Buzzmill
Yeah,
coffee,
yeah.
yeah.
So everything we've done is like outdoor backyard Bayou comedy. That's how they do comedy down there in Louisiana.
Yeah.
It started with COVID. Everything was outside, and then it just stayed. But you can't hear the laughs. So like,
Oh, okay.
my coworker filmed me,
Mm-hmm.
but she was laughing, and everybody at our table was laughing because they're my friend. Like your friend saying you're funny is like my mom says I'm handsome. Of
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you might not really be handsome. It's just her job. So all my friends tell me I'm funny, but that's because we hang around. I don't know if I'm actually stand-up comedy funny. So I was trying to listen through them laughing on her phone video to see if I could here if anybody. There's not a lot of other people there. There was like
It's mostly the people who are
Yeah.
performing were the ones in the
Sparse.
audience. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and Bob. There's an old man named
I
Bob.
wish I made it.
Yeah, we'll go again.
Yeah,
You go
seems
whenever
like
you want.
you've been doing it a lot more.
I've only done it once so far.
But he's been working on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you also had the show at the Buzzmill.
No, we went
No,
to
we
we
went
went
to
to see
see-
Pat,
yeah.
Okay.
who was a guy
Pat?
who he's been around since whenever.
He's down to come on here whenever.
Yeah, and he was also on Drunkcast. He was on the podcast that I was on years
Okay.
ago. So he's one of the
Oh.
local comedian guys.
Was he at the bar of the 5th Street or something that we went?
Whenever you and I went to Don's and we saw Travis.
Yes.
So no, he wasn't. But
been on
it
that
was
show.
on that show. Remember Travis, our friend
Yeah.
Travis? Him and Dylan
Drunkcast.
ran Drunkcast, and then I was on Drunkcast for a long time. We never got you on. We should have got you on. I think we
Oh,
talked
hey,
about
guess
it a couple
what?
times.
So what's his name? Travis?
Yeah, Travis.
Is
Hold
his
on.
house okay? I remember that day that we hang out.
He thought his house was on fire.
Yes.
What?
He got a call. There was a house on on his street was on fire.
How long ago was this?
This was before times, before COVID. It was like 2019, right?
So
Yeah.
It was when we
should
went
be
to see.
okay
Was it
by
when we
now.
went to see Jawbox?
Yes.
Yeah, so we went to see when Jawbox played.
The Mohawk or
Mohawk?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. the
Jackie,
Mohawk.
you and
Yeah.
me are supposed to be at that thing right now. The
What?
Stoner Rock thing.
Oh
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right
I
now.
know, but it seems like we didn't go.
Well, there's.
I'm okay.
I was looking at the details and trying to figure out
Yeah.
if it was a cover or how
Right.
much. The address is on Alpine, which is like South First.
yeah.
I don't
screen
even know
printing.
if it's a bar or
Okay,
a house.
so that's a screen printing shop. I've been
oh,
there.
nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Pilanda Z played over
Okay.
there before.
Yeah, and there's free drinks. We totally should have gone.
Oh,
It's free to get
free
in.
drinks?
Free drinks.
Oh, we should have gone, but you guys invited me for this, so that's why I show up. Here.
Comedy's more important than.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I figure.
And plus, we checked out those bands. They were good. We can listen to them whenever.
Yeah.
But it seemed like a cool scene. I'm sure maybe they'll
Yeah.
have something else. And then
Yeah,
you
I
sent me
like
another
Stoner
thing
Rock.
today that you wanted to go to the art
Huh?
on Instagram.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I forgot what it is, but
but that's
Yeah, I
not
thought-
comedy. It's but
yeah,
it's
that- yeah,
open
that's not
mic.
coming- Yeah.
I'll bring a
Right.
guitar and just do jokes while I play guitar.
Yeah, you should.
gotta try that.
Yeah, you should.
As long as they give me a
do
mic.
little Stephen Wright
I'm gonna
lines.
start doing poetry open
what was
mics
it?
and just do jokes and be the funniest guy there. Because I went to a non-comedy open mic and just twiddled my guitar and did my set.
All right, we're at 40 minutes. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to go to the restroom. And we're back.
So Donna, you took Texas history when you were little in school.
Yeah, in Texas, when you're in Texas in school
Mm-hmm.
in 7th grade, you have to learn Texas history. Like not even just America history,
Yeah.
but Texas history.
We didn't have that in Virginia. There was no Virginia history.
Yeah, but
Florida
because we're
kids in
but
school.
Texas.
Yeah.
We're our own country for 9 years. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I kind of had it. I kind of have to have it for my hometown.
Yeah.
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 You
Well,
had.
not really history, but like learning about like basic stuff.
Well, that's important. That's thousands of years.
Yeah.
Like real, actual cultural and history.
So
Like
did
you
you
could go to a place where that's been there for so long, and everybody can go on a field trip.
did
Here
you
we go to
learn
the Alamo from like 200 years ago.
So
Like,
so
oh,
you
wow.
had Japanese history?
Yeah.
Like history of Japan when you were in school?
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn about samurai?
Yeah.
And feudal shogun?
Yeah.
All that
Yeah,
stuff?
it's a big. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Was
Yeah,
it
probably.
dynasties? That's China's dynasties. What were the
What is
eras?
a dynasty?
The Ming Dynasty, where all the Ming vases came from.
Yeah.
There's different structures, power structures.
The
that came and
dynasty
went.
is like the ruling family. It's like
Yeah.
a whole dynasty.
Like we have a Trump dynasty right now.
Oh God.
They're
The Bush
ruling-
dynasty,
there's a
yeah.
Bush,
Wait,
yeah, Clinton dynasty.
like all the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
like John
it
F.
was,
Kennedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was huge in Japan too.
Right,
I
yeah.
think it still is.
That's where the whole
Some part of
motto
it.
comes from. Of the grandfather
Mhm.
builds a tree for his grandson to be in the shade of it. People don't do that
Right.
here. We're like, fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. Did you learn what was I saying? Crap. So did you learn like there's some like specific stories, like some like events that are really, really big in history, right? Like what's the most important event that they teach you in history at school in Japan?
What's the 9/11 of Japan?
Yeah, what's the
Fukushima?
what's the Alamo of Japan?
Like Sekigahara, maybe Sekigahara is famous, or there's so many of it.
You have a Pledge of
know?
Allegiance. They have to say it to the flag every day.
No.
Nobody
Yeah.
stands up and says the same thing.
Yeah.
all
So
together?
what's that about? I've been wondering about that thing.
It's like
I've
a-
never done it before.
It's like a cult.
I've never done it
You're
before.
declaring your
Yeah.
undying
Yeah.
devotion to the cause of America.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up. It happened. It actually the reason that we do it is because of communism, because they were so scared that what is it? I thought I turned this all down. Because they were so scared that like America was going to be taken over by communists. You got to you have to pledge allegiance to America and to like our system and how all that stuff works. That's why we have all that.
Well, that's because we had a depression. People here are starving, and they're like, "Oh, in Russia, you just gotta wait in line. You get bread free. It's great."
It's like
Compared to dying in the streets.
you mean it's the really, really rich people that are all the problem? So all we have to do is cut their heads off with a
Yeah.
guillotine. You heard about that? You know about that, right? You
No.
learned about French Revolution,
Oh,
where they cut off
mhm.
everybody's head with
Marie
a guillotine.
Antoinette.
Yeah, Marie Antoinette. So in Texas,
Hmm.
you know about Texas history, right? You know what the most important thing in the history of Texas
What is
is?
the Alamo?
The Alamo. That's right. Because that
See, it's so
You remember?
yeah.
it.
It's
You
so,
don't even
it's
have to
so
remember. it.
easy
You
to
remember.
just pick one thing, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I was little, it was the Challenger exploded, and then Kurt Cobain died, and then
Yeah.
9/11. Those were big. Like I was 12, and then 16, and then to 20. They were big disasters.
Yeah,
I like how
that's-
Kurt Cobain's right in the middle.
Kurt Cobain flew the Challenger into
For-
the Twin Towers.
I don't know. There was Waco. There was the Timothy McVeigh blowing up the building. There's a few different like historical events that happened, right?
Oh, it's happening right now.
Is it-
Serial killer thing.
Yeah, serial killer in Austin,
Yeah.
like putting people in Town Lake.
That dude
Yeah.
was-
Yeah.
It's all male.
Why are they calling him a slasher? He's not slashing. He's slashing you with
Yeah.
water
Yeah.
in the mouth. Is the door open? There's a woman coming.
It's unlocked.
Okay, cool.
So were you in Japan during 9/11? You were, right?
I was in a high school.
You were in high school. What was that like? What did
Yeah, I
you
was
see it that
shocked.
day? Like,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you watch it live? Like we watched it
They're
live.
like,
So-
haha.
So actually, I supposed to go to school,
Yeah.
but I decided to stay home because I wanted to watch the news.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
the day off work.
You
We got
wanted to
day
watch
off
the
work
news
when
after
Jerry
it happened.
Garcia
No,
died,
no,
too.
on the live. You know, when the president is gonna speech and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I decided to not to go to school because seems like historical thing is happening on live.
Yeah. Yeah. So I failed out of college for a
You went to
semester.
college?
Yeah, I went to college
Yeah.
for a semester and I didn't do very good because, like I said, I wouldn't get up early enough for my college classes.
Right, right.
So I was living back at home with my parents. I was 19 years old, and I was. So the night before, I went over to Jason's house to our friend Jason's house, and we watched the movie Hannibal.
Okay,
You know, like Hannibal Lecter,
I don't
We're
think
just
so.
watching that.
Silence of the Lambs.
Red Dragon.
Yeah, we'll have to show you
Okay.
about that. So Hannibal Lecter is he's a
Oh,
is serial killer.
はいはいはいはい。あの羊たちの沈黙ね。
Uh huh.
Is that that one?
Yeah.
羊たちの沈黙 that one?
Yeah, he eats people. He's a
Okay,
cannibal.
okay, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. Yeah, I love
How
that
did
movie.
you know that that's what that meant?
I assumed.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Figure out how
So-
to say cannibal in Japanese on the fly.
So we watched Hannibal, the movie Hannibal, which was the sequel, right? And then I had a dream that like Hannibal was chasing me. Hannibal Lecter was chasing me, and like it was like
You
a
are
kind of a
so,
scary
yeah,
dream, right?
Influenced.
And as I was like waking up from this kind of nightmare,
Yeah.
it was daytime, it was morning, and then my stepdad walked into my bedroom and he goes, "Somebody crashed planes into the World Trade Center in the Pentagon." I was like, that's how I woke up that day.
Oh
It's a
wow.
shitty day. Your
Yeah.
Thanks,
stepdad
Dad.
told you about 9/11 after a murder nightmare.
Because I stayed up so late that I couldn't get up early that
Like
morning.
Garfield. I hate
And
Mondays.
then and then
Shitty.
and then yeah, we watched it all happen live. Like it was within an hour of the planes crashing that I was up and watching it all
Yeah.
or whatever. It's interesting to think of what it was like for people in other countries and things like that. Like because for you it was probably in the middle of the night whenever it happened, right?
I remember watching the news in the morning. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must happen middle of the night.
Yeah, 'cause it was like 9 o'clock in the morning in New York. So
Yeah, but the
Okay.
Japanese planned the whole thing and sent them over, so she already knew.
no, it was a whale and a dolphin.
Yeah.
A whale and a dolphin did. You remember that episode of South Park?
South Park. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
There was just an article that said,
Christine-san.
Yeah.
Hey.
Christine-san, guess what? I love you. Oh, my favorite person in this whole planet.
yeah.
Oh, but no. Okay. I said it too much. I need to put Diriko. and
Everybody-
my
Yeah, right.
kids and,
Everybody
my
keeps
mother
rubbing
and,
my
Your
face and how
kids.
nice my wife is. Like, I know.
I need
We
to put
know.
those people first.
Right.
So there's an article that said Mexico accuses the Pentagon of spying, which I thought just everybody already knew we were all spying on them. Like, why do we need to get accused of spying? Like, America's already been spying on everybody forever. It should be understood by now. Like, yeah, we're being spied on by America.
It's been already
the people
happening,
who
right?
spy on everybody
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time.
China does it all the time. Yeah.
Everybody spies on everybody. It's the history.
I had a buddy that went to a military expo 20 years ago and said he saw they had mosquito cameras, camera the size of a mosquito.
Okay.
So I went and told this old dude that I know who works for the government. This is in Virginia. I was like, I heard they have mosquito cameras. And he was like, that's old. Like, because you know about it at the expo, that means it's obsolete and we have a kill switch and we invented that and sold it to people. And I said, okay, so what do they have now? Like the size of a gnat camera? Like tiny? And he said, no, we have radio frequency ID dust that we spread on the sand in the Taliban countries,
Is
whatever.
it for real?
Yeah, and then they walk through it, and we just track them. That it gets on their, the dust gets on people.
Oh,
This
wow.
is so crazy.
And that
Scary.
was 20 years ago.
Oh
from
wow!
now.
So we have a even.
Even
Yeah,
smaller.
who knows? Who knows
So
what they're
somebody
watching?
could
Yeah.
have put something in my brain.
But yeah,
Maybe.
Bill Gates put it in there with the vaccine.
Yeah, yeah. Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
get, did you get the vaccine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now Bill Gates knows what's
Yeah.
inside your head. He
That's
knows
how
about your
Microsoft
secret
keeps-
plans.
That's why I can't remember anything.
That's why we have to put you in a camp.
Yeah, that's how that's how Microsoft keeps stealing all of Sony's PlayStation
Right.
ideas. 'Cause they got secret brain bugs.
Right. Right.
We have a friend who always says how drunk they are when they get drunk or high, and I've never done that, and it always bothers me because
I'm
seems
so
like,
wasted,
yeah,
man.
it seems like a amateur move. Like, yeah, like on my birthday when I took shrooms at Adrian's.
Yeah.
People kept checking, are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? Are you okay? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I hadn't even thought of, like, I drink and
Yeah.
smoke and weed too. I
You
just
forgot
kinda
you
wanted
took
to-
them. Yeah.
I took a half a cap. I was just trying to put some stank on it. I'm not like
Right.
trying to feel something.
Yeah.
But there's always like the one guy in the group that's like, oh, I feel so drunk. And it's like, yeah, we've been drinking.
Yeah,
I
you
drank
and everybody
the same
else.
as-
Yeah.
You're not. It's like the guy who shows up to work and goes, I really don't want to be here today. Like anyone else, no one else wants to be here today either, bud. We'd
Right.
all rather be fishing.
Yeah.
You're not special that you don't want to be at work.
Mm.
Somebody who's the white ball. Always the white ball on the pool table. It's all about me. Anyway, we've been watching Succession. You need to watch Succession. It's really good.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
A lot of like
Mm.
plotty talking.
It feels like it's over now because the Succession just happened.
Yeah. Well,
it's all been
the
building up
beginning
to
of the succession has happened. Yeah.
Oh, I finished watching the beef.
Yeah, you like that?
Would you like
yeah.
beef?
Yeah.
Don't tell
yeah,
me
it was
anything. I
pretty
didn't
good.
finish
Yeah.
it.
I
Did
saw
they
the
learn
start
their
of it.
lesson and become nice at the end? It looked like it. I saw a screenshot.
You didn't watch it.
Yeah,
at
I
the-
just saw a
okay.
screenshot of them taking a selfie together, and I was
Yeah.
like, "How did that ever
Okay, yeah.
happen?" Yeah, eventually they're gonna have stem cell boats that you can go offshore and get all your diseases fixed. We were talking about once Florida disappears, they're gonna put Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville stem cell boat.
Hmm.
Because all the medical rules, like the FDA rules, they only
Yeah.
apply within this country that they're made in.
Mhm.
So if you want to get some kind of experimental therapy, you could just leave the country.
Hmm.
Like people go to Mexico for dental work all the time because it's cheap.
Yeah, I heard about that. Is it better or what about the
it's
quality
cheap.
though?
Well, like, no,
it's
they do-
Mexican teeth. You're gonna get
Well, I mean, they're.
Mexican
cardboard.
I mean, Mexico. Like some of the cities in Mexico are just like as like nice and big as like New York City,
Okay.
Monterrey,
Yeah, some
Mexico
Of
City. I mean, Josh
the,
has
some of the
been
white kids are just as smart as the
the
poor
poor kids. So
Yeah, our family, we've got a house. It's nice.
he's been through Mexico City and stuff. Like there's some really nice parts of Mexico.
Okay.
And so there's some really good like health care, right?
Right.
And it's cheaper than here.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will go to. Oh, did you hear about the? There's like 4 people got kidnapped by the cartels recently, and
Yeah.
like 2 of them got killed,
Oh wow.
and they went there for plastic surgery.
Yeah, they sent us a sorry note,
Yeah,
the condolences letter.
Yeah, it's
Sorry we
like-
killed your people.
yeah. So like people go
My bad.
down to. It's called medical tourism. Like people go down to like Mexico and other
Mhm.
countries to like get, medical procedures done
yeah.
because it's cheaper than dealing with like insurance and not. Or if you don't have insurance here, you know how it is, right?
Right.
Did you say that in Japan it's didn't Dylan have to do something in Japan or whatever?
Yeah, so he got really sick, and yeah, we took him to see a doctor to check him out, and he also had the IV,
Yeah.
and we paid like $40 or something.
Yeah. So does Japan have
Or
like
$20? I don't know. I forgot.
does
exactly how
Japan
much
have
it
like socialized health care? Do you like
Yes, but so that's why people paying a lot of tax though.
right, right,
'Cause
right.
Where those money is coming
Yeah,
from?
same with every other one. Canada,
Yeah.
you pay
Yeah.
out the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so
Oh,
I
wow.
have a friends who's living in America. They're Japanese people.
Mhm.
But if they're not employee, if they're having their own business or something, most likely sometimes they don't have a insurance.
Okay.
So they go taking care of the teeth every time they go back to Japan because it's cheaper.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The same thing going to Mexico,
Yeah. Well, I'll say that America's number one. And
Yeah, hell yeah.
We got the best
Yeah.
health care. And if you
But-
don't like it, you can
You know, America is still good though.
I know.
I'd rather live in America than Japan.
You would, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
There's so many pockets. Like you go to the wrong, you can go to the wrong place in America and be horrified.
Yeah, I lived in Mattoon, Illinois.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? It was a
And it's
band.
like,
I mean, there's streets in
do you have
Philadelphia where
Wi-Fi?
there's just
I wanna-
junkies lying on the
yeah,
ground.
I don't have a Wi-Fi. I don't have Wi-Fi. I wonder how many population is in Mattoon. It's spelled Mattoon.
It's a city in Coles County, Illinois, United States. The
I don't think
population
that's city.
the population was 16,870 people.
Why'd you stay there?
I'm surprised. They have that many. I thought it was
The
less.
city is home to Lakeland
Oh
College.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
I
where
went to
you
Lakeland
That's where
College
you
for the
went?
ESL.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
that's
ESL.
where.
Right,
That's
right,
where I
right.
learned English.
Why? Did you pick Lakeland College? Or?
Hell no. So
Hell no.
I have an aunt and an uncle who's been living there for 40 years.
Ah, okay.
I think my uncle was some kind of program he got into.
Okay.
And that program caught, like some Japanese dude. And, they are teaching the skills to
Okay.
making a teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them moved out from Mattoon after the program is over.
Okay.
And most of them moved to Chicago.
Uh huh.
But my uncle just decided to stay there. I guess he
Do you
liked
like
it.
Mattoon?
He, he must be because he's there still.
Yeah. Is he? So he was married
Oh yeah, with my aunt.
from Japan.
She's from Japan.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they moved there together, and they were there.
So so they are dating in Japan.
Uh huh.
And my aunt, who is my mother's sister,
Mm-hmm.
she went to visit my uncle, and she thought she's gonna be there for a couple months.
Yeah.
But at the what is it? What's it called? Like at the airport,
Uh huh.
she couldn't speak any English and stuff. So she has to go to, those special rooms that I've been to,
Whenever you land and like you have to, it's like kind of going through customs.
Yeah. What's it called? I forgot what it is.
Like the interrogation room, or
Yeah, something like that.
It's
Yeah.
called
But-
something different now after the Freedom Act.
right?
It's the Freedom Room. Here you learn about freedom.
But anyways, so she got stamped. Says she needs to go back in a week.
Oh, okay.
And she and my uncle is like, oh, what are we gonna do? Our plan is for her to stay. I forgot exactly, maybe 6 months or
Yeah.
for a year.
Yeah.
And my uncle's friend say, oh, why don't you guys get married so she can just stay?
Yeah.
And they are young and dumb enough to, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So they, just got
But then
married.
they still together.
Yeah.
So they
But
stay
so
together for
she
years
got
and years.
married, and since she didn't really plan it to get married either, she couldn't go back to Japan another 3 years after that.
Okay.
And
And then
she
he had to win a
an-
karate fight to get her to get married. They had to play the flute. It was the whole thing. For honor.
Where do they sell kunai here?
I can't do my karate moves unless everyone plays their hand drum
Yeah.
at the same time.
yeah, so when she was living in Japan, she hadn't never smoked weed
Mm-hmm.
because she grew up in Japan and stuff.
And is it hard? Wasn't it hard to get
I
a
think
hold of
it's-
weed
yeah,
in
it's really
Japan?
hard.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure about now, but at
They
least
already
when
have
she was
peaceful
younger.
gardens. Just go stand in the peaceful
Yeah, it's
garden
just a
and
garden.
feel nice.
Guess what?
do
You
need
know
weed for?
why Japan can't really get the weed?
Why?
It's because of America.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, exactly.
My fault.
So before the World War II, marijuana was everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh, but America
hemp-
came in and occupied, and they got rid of all the marijuana.
Yes.
Oh, it's our fault.
Yes.
Oh,
Fuck
stupid
America.
Americans. Stupid Americans. Ugh.
We're the round eyes trying to get Chinese eyed,
know.
and then they won't even do.
Oh, that's why we got rid of it, is because we could see it all with our huge wide American eyes.
Damn.
Right? So we could see all the weed everywhere. That's how we found it, and that's how we got rid of it. Isn't that right?
The powers of perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to do this one bit about the my diet act at Woodrow's about the food. When I said that my two favorite foods are nachos and Coke,
Yeah.
and then it was like enter something else, and I was like, well, I just put salad and water. So now the app is teaching me to be a good actor because I'm like, I love salad and water. I'm good at acting.
Yeah, and you're bound for Hollywood now.
Pretending
Yeah.
that this shit it tastes good.
Yeah.
Kristen always says that whenever I eat a salad, I'm stabbing it like an angry devil
can't
with my
believe I
fork.
have to eat
Fucking
this.
stupid celery shit. Do you ever make a FaceTime call?
Yeah, sometime.
Like back home, your parents?
Yeah,
everything?
yeah, I do.
You know how at the end when you say bye, everybody says, okay, I gotta go bye.
Yeah.
And then everybody sees the finger
Finger.
coming up. Like it's
Or
awkward.
Yeah, it's so awkward.
Yeah.
That,
So I start
yeah.
bringing my finger up over the back. I go, okay, bye. And I curl it over the top. So then they can't see me going, I hang up on you.
Yeah. Anytime I'm hanging up, it's FaceTime. It's always awkward. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you don't do
Kind
it
of
in
like, why
time.
don't you
yeah.
do it already?
I heard a radio commercial that said, are your chronic headaches causing you to be mean to your family? And it was like every angry American white dad that's already shitty to their kids, they're trying to blame it or solve it with this medication. So some guy's in the car commuting pissed off and he hears that commercial. And he's like, yeah, that's why I'm mean to everybody. Because I must need these medications because of my chronic headaches. It's like gypsies where they're like, you have changes coming in your life. And then something happens and you're like, oh, the gypsy was right.
Well, it's just like astrology, right?
Yeah, that's the medication commercials now. They're calling out oddly specific maladies.
Yeah.
So that when it happens to you, you're like, oh, I heard about
Yeah.
Cymbalta would help with this. They said my
right.
erection problems would be cured. That's why I'm being mean to people around me. There's a guy at work that's bothering everybody. And like the other person we were talking about earlier where you've had the talk over and over again. And it's
Yeah.
like you reach an impasse.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no impasse in a professional environment. You just have to keep working with the person. So they were talking to me about it the other day, and I was like, well, everybody deserves a 17th chance. Because the old
Yeah.
thing that they say is everyone deserves a second chance.
Yeah. This is
Oh,
like
okay,
the
okay.
17th
Uh,
chance. Yeah.
I'm a public employee. Nobody can get fired, so you get as many chances as you want.
Yeah. You can't really. Although it's the same thing for like companies too.
AT&T was like that though.
Yeah. You couldn't
Yeah.
get fired at AT&T.
Do you remember the John Hidalgo? Is that right?
Yeah,
I'm not
Hidalgo.
supposed to say.
Wow. Yeah. We bleep it.
Yeah.
We could be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That dude.
Like there were so many people. I was like, can we fire this person?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But you
ridiculous.
can't. It's hard. It was really, really hard.
They need to
fire
get better at
people.
And there
screening
was
for-
a better contractor.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
They need to get better at screening for personality disorders in the job interview.
Yeah.
They do that. Describe a situation that was that you resolved that was uncomfortable. I think you can figure it out through a lot of those stories. Like if somebody makes up or has a story about where you can tell they're clearly the bad guy. Like, it was unfair. This person cut me off, and all I did was follow them and ram into them 17 times, and they got all mad, and the police pulled me over. That's usually this, I had to be careful with that in job interviews. They're like, describe a situation that went wrong, and I'm like, I don't want to make myself look like the hero. I
Yeah.
want to look like I'm fair and balanced with my response.
Yeah. I was always the king of that because I always knew how to like give an example that they would totally identify
Yeah.
with. I was always good at that.
Something hireable,
Yeah.
where they're like, this guy's going to come in here and make everybody act
Yeah.
right.
Chiaki and I worked together for how long did we work together? Only like
I don't
6
know.
months, maybe.
No,
A
it
year?
was more like plus
year?
a year and a half or something.
I just remember. I remember.
You left?
Yeah, she
I
left. So
I was like 7 months pregnant.
right. So I was sitting and I was working, and Chiaki walked up to me and she goes, "Hey, Donnie, I just found out I'm pregnant," and I had that like feeling like that the pit of my stomach drop out. That was
Yeah.
what always happens whenever somebody says that they're gonna have a
Yeah, they-
baby.
yeah.
Because I feel the anxiety of like the uncertainty of the future. I felt the same thing when my brother. So I lived with my brother and his wife whenever we were. This is 15 years ago,
Right.
and I was
with Wyatt?
yeah
Not the Avery?
yeah.
Okay.
Whenever I was we were living together and I was in the kitchen and I was washing dishes, and my brother kind of like slowly like kind of comes down at this point they're like 20 years old, 19, 20. Or they got married when they were 19, and they're probably like 20, 21-ish. And he comes down the stairs really slowly, and he walks up to me and he goes, "Kim just tested pregnant." And then like I just feel like the bottom drop out of my stomach.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like that's the first thing that always happens to me. It's not like eventually it's happiness. It's like, oh, I'm so happy for you.
Right.
Did you
But
quit
it's
because
the-
you were pregnant, or did you they fired you because you're pregnant.
No, you left because you were getting pregnant, right?
It's kind of mixed
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
Cause I don't know. After I got pregnant, I couldn't do the job that I used to be able to do, and I got moved to Hilton's, like a more difficult spot too. So I
Yeah.
couldn't really
Right.
hold it,
Baby brain.
and my attitude was really bad.
No,
too.
I remember
so,
that.
She's yelling the N word
So
at a
it
bunch
was
of black
mix
people.
of, they wanted to get rid of me too.
Right. So, but
I
the
wanted to leave too.
but so yeah. So Chiaki comes up. She goes, I'm pregnant, and I felt that feeling of my like stomach drop out. And what that actually taught me was like, oh, Chiaki's part of my family. Like that's what it felt like, because I felt the same thing. And it was being worried for you, like the uncertainty and all that. And then of course it was like,
Anxiety.
and then it was like, oh, I'm so happy for you and all
Right,
that. But like I felt like my stomach drop out, and then from that moment on, I think you were like, I'm not gonna work here anymore. Like but you were good though.
Until I got pregnant though.
Well, I mean, maybe afterwards you were done. You were done as far as your motivation goes. But you and you remember Nazar?
He's fucking smart.
You and Nazar were
Yeah.
probably the two people, because
Yeah.
I mean, you had lived here for what, like a year and a half, a couple years, right?
No, it was only like a year.
Okay, you had
Maybe
been here for a year,
yeah.
and he was the same way. He moved like from Sudan. He
Mm-hmm.
moved here, and both of you,
Yeah.
as you had to like talk on the phone to people, I heard you just like adapt, and I heard your accent just melt away and get better. Like over that like first few months of you working there, I was like, oh my, I watched you adapt, and like I was like, holy crap, Chucky is so smart, and she's so good. And Nazar, he was the same way. He was so good.
Smart.
Yeah, I need to find out what's
Especially
going on with
his
him.
language, I think he read it from right to left.
Yeah.
Even those simple things,
Yeah.
I would think it's really tiring
Yeah.
if he has to read from left to the right.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah. But the two of you were definitely the ones who I was like, I watched you like immediately like adapt, and like I was like, oh, they have skills I don't even have, you know.
Well, and I also study a lot after work too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I didn't even know what the ceiling was.
The word.
Yeah, the word.
Oh, okay.
But because of my job,
yeah.
I'm talking to.
You have to talk to people about installing like network equipment. You have to talk about the ceiling.
Yeah, like they're talking about drop ceiling and stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what the ceiling was.
Right.
So I have to ask my coworker, "Hey, what is the ceiling?" And people are like, "Hey, Jackie, look, this is the ceiling."
But you
Is
know
it
what
God?
the absolute best of Chiaki not knowing a word.
Hell yeah. I think she was trying to tell them to run away.
Right. Oh yeah, we hired a bunch of black guys.
Okay. Why? I mean, you already hired a Japanese lady.
Right.
What other-
We were becoming very diverse. Our department was
Never enough.
Very
diversifying.
diverse.
Yeah, we were becoming
More
very
diverse.
diverse. Yeah. Oh man, those guys loved you though. Oh, they thought you were so
I
funny.
I dropped the N word.
Yeah, you basically asked what it meant,
Well,
because
no, I didn't mean to ask what that means. I just knew that wasn't a good word.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask the origin or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I can't even say that.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
so
like,
as soon
yeah.
as
So
I
she walks up to like the
Say whatever
four
you want, it's
the
America.
four black guys who are all bros. They're all
Yeah.
cool guys.
Yeah. I know.
why
She
you
walks up.
dread?
She's like, what does that word mean?
Yeah.
And they fall out of their seats.
Sit the
laughing.
chair.
Yeah.
Laughing and crying for
And they
like
all pointed at
15
each other like
minutes.
Spider-Man. It was you.
He laughing because he know.
And other two white people looked so awkward.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They can't really laugh.
They laughed and they ran away. How do you say run away in Japanese?
Nigeru.
Uh-huh.
You got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, nigeru. Why?
Oh
Why
my
is
gosh,
that
it's-
funny? Nigeru.
It sounds like the word.
It sounds like what you do if you're in the bad part of town.
Yeah, right.
You need to get the fuck out of there.
How did you even know, Josh-san? So
Huh?
you knew. Somebody told you this.
I've studied every language on earth what the sound they have that's like a racial slur.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. We're connoisseurs.
No, I was watching something and they said it and I was like, "What is that?" It was the subtitles were on.
Yeah.
And they said run away, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, nigeru, nigeru. Really? Does it sound like it?
That's
You
the
get
name
a-
of the episode.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like that. The word that you can't say.
Oh man.
But yeah, when we were little, we thought everything was better in Japan because of the cartoons and the video games. Like we would have kids come to school and be like, "My dad goes to work in Japan, and he just got back, and he said they already have Mario 24."
Yeah.
Huh.
So we thought everything was
Mario
advanced,
24.
way better.
No, so much
But
so
that
much
was
of that.
back in the 30 years ago.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah, I
see y'all's
know.
cartoons
Yeah.
and be like, "Our cartoons are
Yeah,
shitty."
Japan's not, I don't know, not doing that good. Elon Musk is worried about it.
About
Oh, really?
Japan?
Yeah, you didn't know? Elon
Oh,
Musk
huh.
has been worried about Japanese population.
Oh, it's
is
because of the
sinking.
population, but
Yeah.
like no, that's bad. That's getting
Yeah.
real bad. Because nobody's having kids,
Right.
right? But that's been a problem for a long time,
Mhm.
right?
But I guess, I don't know, government has been doing smart
Yeah.
about it.
Well,
Yeah.
what happens is that all of them go and marry
first,
Americans.
I
And
know.
then they have half Japanese,
half
half American
Japanese.
kids.
It's your fault.
Well, first step. So those old people, it's not dying. That's the big issue.
Yeah, so
I
they're kind of
thought
a
it was
drain
a-
on,
yeah,
sus-
those
on
old
like
people needs to
resources.
die.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what you guys get for being so healthy.
I
When
know,
you're that
yeah,
healthy,
yeah.
you live to like 90 years old.
Yeah, 90 years
Yeah.
old. And where those, so these guys getting a social whatever,
Yeah, benefits or
Benefits,
security
benefits.
type. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all the tax. So younger one is paying so much
Right.
tax.
But there's not enough younger people to pay the tax to pay for the old people, right?
hmm
That's a problem.
We have the same thing at my work. There's old people that are annoying, and you're like, "Don't you retire soon? Why are you here? Get the fuck out!" Like, weren't you hired where they had to work 20 years and retire?
Yep.
We had somebody complain on the phone. They're like, "You are a public employee. I pay your salary," and I'm like, "Give me your number. I'll Venmo you your penny back."
Yeah.
You don't pay any of my salary with all of your taxes and all of it that goes to the police and everywhere else. Whatever you're thinking that you pay of my salary, I'd love to give it back to you. So you
Also-
can shut the fuck up.
Also, isn't anything you make, that's all property taxes, right?
It's a bunch of the fees on the electricity bill too.
Okay.
They keep adding it.
Electricity
And
bill
the
too?
fee and the stuff costs money. What we do, they have
Right.
to charge for that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where it comes from because a lot of, well, of course, school is property tax. Property tax pays
Yeah.
for the schools, right? But I'm wondering about all the people who work for the city where that stuff comes from.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't work for the city. I work for
All the people who work for an anonymous public entity. You work for the co-op,
I work for the
Yeah.
city of San Marcos.
yeah. Martindale, that's where you work.
I
Yeah.
commute from Austin to go work in the city of San Marcos.
Okay, I think we're probably an hour and 13. I can cut this down to 50 minutes.
Let's go
So
do some 420 shit, bro.
you want to do some 420 stuff, Chucky?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we
Thank you, Chucky, for sitting with us and talking about Japanese things.
I had
Hi.
a lovely evening. Will you go out with us again?
Nigero!
Yay! Oh, she's running away. Oh, bye.